I've experienced much loss in my life recently, and I'm in need of some time to rest and grieve, and I want to talk to others about how they rest and how they care for themselves in their daily life and during challenging moments. When I arrived in Tainan for my residency at Absolute Space, I had just lost my father, and I had prepared questions to ask the local community about their approaches to comfort and care for my research. In this historic city, blending old and new, I've met so many creative people, local artists, writers, musicians, designers, all willing to share their stories, their knowledge, talking about their history, politics, philosophy, religion, and how it's all embedded into daily life. The local contemporary artists I met are all inspired by and honor traditional techniques and crafts. And like this city, they exist in the contemporary world, but are also really rooted in the traditional world. I've been learning so much about the culture by visiting temples every day, and for the past 2 months, I've visited 55 temples already. Buddhist, Taoist, Confucianist temples. And I'm enamored with the paintings on the walls and the doors of the temple. A well-known symbol that expressed the space between earth and sky, between human and the divine, and the contrast between intensity and softness, inspire me to start to draw them in the studio. And the clouds, they morphed into soft bedding to rest on, soft pillows to hug. I made drawings and prints using these images. And then the clouds in the studio started to take on additional meaning when the storm started. I arrived during monsoon season. The city was hit with days and days of constant rain. Then a large typhoon, the worst people said in many years. Then tropical storms with intense lightning and wind. Then a few earthquakes, a tsunami warning. I was totally overwhelmed and I felt stressed with the dynamic weather, and I was forced to face how the weather represented all the things I can't control in this world. Beyond weather, but also natural events like time passing, aging, suffering, and death. I searched for a sense of security and safety. How do we deal with the uncomfortable? How do we deal with the uncontrollable? Like many people, I visited the temples and I prayed. I realized the only way to feel safe during the storms was to surrender to the unknown and to the divine. After the storms passed, the streets were littered with debris, and safety tape was wrapped around the buildings and trees. I collected the safety tape from the streets, and the tape became a base for several works on paper and digital collages. I created these works in direct response to the weather and the environment. The fluorescent yellow color that repeats in the prints and highlights the intense lightning storms I experienced, and also reflect the color used for safety gear and equipment. So focused on the need to feel safe, I added the word safety to a banner, embroidered by a local studio like the ones I saw in the temples and the temple parades, using a bright orange athletic fabric and a ribbon used for temple decorations, hoping to bless anyone who walked beneath the banner with a sense of safety and care. My father was a firefighter for over 30 years, and he instilled a sense of concern for safety measures and for planning for disasters. At the same time as gaining a sense of calm and learning to be one with the elements while here, I also honor my father's memory and his training as I focus on themes of safety, care, and rest. For the past few years, I have been resting in public as a way to talk about who gets to rest, when we get to rest, who gets permission to rest, and where can we rest. Resting in public brings up issues of who's allowed to rest in public, who's allowed to rest during the day. And I've done this project now in Tainan after doing it in several places in the United States and in Berlin, Germany. Everyone here in Tainan has been so kind, so generous and helpful, and I felt really taken care of at a moment when I really needed care. I feel grateful for all the new friends I've made and the intention and the knowledge they've shared,